Let's get back to that tragic development yesterday on the Atlanta BeltLine. A woman stabbed to death just moments before. A postal employee was attacked with a rock. Police believe it was the work of one suspect, and at last check, police believe these were random attacks. Jonathan Raymond is joining us here. You know, if you watch the show, Jonathan joins us to add color oftentimes to complicated stories. And you've been digging into this, writing a story for our online presence. And what have you been able to find out about this suspect?
So we found a little bit into his past arrest records and his case records that were associated with those incidents. He had, most relevantly, a battery arrest back in January of this year, so just a few months ago, in which he was accused, and I'm going to try to find the exact language here. He allegedly did intentionally cause a bloody gash, visible bodily harm to the victim by striking her. And I apologize, that's a January 2025 case.
Okay, last year.
And then in that case, he was given, I believe, a jail sentence of 60 days. No, sorry, 120 days. He served 60 days, which is not uncommon in that sort of thing. It was a misdemeanor case. So oftentimes, because the jail is overcrowded, those kinds of issues that are going on, they'll be released early. And I did misspeak a second ago. That was the January 2026 case, was the battery case. And in that one, I haven't pinned down this detail yet, but one of the interesting elements of his case being resolved was he was banned from MARTA properties. So it seems like it may have happened at a MARTA station
Sure.
or something like
Yeah.
that, perhaps, or on a MARTA bus, or some kind of thing like that, which would suggest possibly that it was also random. And it does, we haven't really been told this by police yet, but it seems yesterday that the two attacks that occurred back to back were
Random.
potentially random.
Yeah. This is a 21-year-old we're talking about here. Jamar Brown, just identified by police earlier this morning, facing charges now of murder, aggravated assault, aggravated battery. I mean, the most serious charges he's faced to date, no doubt.
Yeah.
21-year-old man, so whether he had any juvenile priors, we're not going to be able to find that out immediately. But between the age of 18 and 21, aside from this January incident, anything else?
Yeah, so there was that's why I got a little, mixed up on the 2025 and 2026. There was a January 2025, almost a year apart. But that case was disorderly conduct, and it was described in the records as loitering and prowling. And the reason, I should explain, we can't say much more specific about these is oftentimes in these kinds of misdemeanor cases, when you do pull up the charges and the documents that describe what happened, they're not very descriptive. They don't give a lot of details. So in this instance, this was another situation where he was banned from state property. So again, we don't know exactly where that happened, but it implies, that it would have happened on some kind of, maybe it was Georgia State campus or another kind of Georgia State building of some kind. In that case, he entered. These are both negotiated guilty pleas that he entered in the two cases. So he took a plea deal both times. The first one in January of 2025. He spent 15 days in jail and then had a year of probation.
Okay.
And we did find prior to that there was a shoplifting case in DeKalb County.
Okay, nonviolent offense.
Yeah.
So,
So,
at least 3 instances dating back a few years
Yeah.
of a criminal past.
Yeah.
Served some jail time, but then was let back out on the streets. And yesterday committed the most
Yeah.
heinous of crimes.
Yeah, it's hard. Those are misdemeanor cases, so I'm not familiar with exactly how the law might. I don't know how many misdemeanor cases you can stack up before there comes more of a penalty. But yeah, and also we should say the one other part of yesterday's incident that is unresolved with regards to wherever his legal case will go is he's likely going to face federal charges as well, because a postal worker on the job, at a post office, I believe.
Yeah.
So that, and we don't have warrants on that or anything yet. So, but where you see his charges listing like an aggravated assault, police said that he had attacked the postal worker with a rock. So that's probably related to the aggravated battery or one of those charges in there. And then likely there will be a federal case.
Very interesting. He'll have his day in court. He'll have the opportunity to plead not guilty or guilty if he so chooses. Police, though, were able to nab this suspect in about 6 hours yesterday, thanks in large part to the surveillance that is along the BeltLine. They put out a couple clear pictures of who they were looking for. They said, we're pretty sure he's on an orange or a reddish bike. And sure enough, a few miles down the road in the heart of the city, they were able to track him down yesterday. But some tense hours for the city yesterday, including as schools were letting out.
Yeah, there were a couple of schools that went into, I want to say, lockdown. Sometimes they phrase it different ways, like a code yellow or something like that. But that's not uncommon when there is, we've run into those kinds of things a lot, actually, where police are searching for a suspect in a violent episode of some kind, and it happens to be near a school, so the school's got to lock down. But yeah, that's a quiet part of the BeltLine. It's right up here from where our station is, in fact.
Yeah, a mile away.
It's not like the East Side BeltLine over by the old Fourth Ward where there's hundreds and hundreds of people there all the time. This is a relatively quieter part of the BeltLine. It's next to a well-to-do golf club, Ansley Park.
Ansley, very nice.
So this is an unexpected kind of event in that part of town.
The victim, Alyssa Page, 23-year-old woman. Again, a seemingly random attack. We're going to be working to learn more about her throughout the day. And Jonathan, we thank you for digging into the suspect's past. An important part of the story, as we're always asking how can we be safer as a community, and this is part of it.
Yeah. And one more thing, he will be in court today. That's a first appearance. There's not usually, it's pretty kind of standard procedure sort of thing, but that will occur, I think, at 11 a.m.
Might get a court-appointed attorney, have his charges officially read to him.
Kind of thing.
All right. Thank you very much, Jonathan Raymond.
Sure,
More
absolutely.
reporting to come on this throughout the day as we get it on 11alive.com. You can read Jonathan's story that he was just discussing. It's on 11alive.com right now.